Motherfucking Elf, the bad boy of sports betting, the
Let's
bad
go.
boy of boxing.
Oh, bringing
Let's
out some shit
go.
about
How
boxing.
are we? How are we doing?
We're doing good today. It's a beautiful day. It's tax day. So, you know, shout out America for paying everyone, all the Americans paying their taxes.
Shout out
But
Uncle
we're doing
Sam.
good. We're doing good. Yeah.
Wow, it must be. I mean, you must have several teams doing your taxes with how much money you're raking in from the books, the
Right.
boxing, the Elf show. I mean, it's got to be a nightmare for your accountants.
Yeah. I mean, definitely a weird situation financially for me when you have like 15 different sources of income. Like if I'll do a sponsorship with like sobet, you guys will send me money and then next week it'll be someone else and they're sending me a little bit of money there. So it's just like so many different little sources of income that all add up. That's
So
kind
I
of the
just
idea.
Venmo. I try to help you out, bro.
Yeah,
Um,
man, we take
Try to
Venmo
keep
on
it
the upside.
undercover.
Try to
Try to
keep
keep
it
it
undercover.
undercover.
Apparently, they're cracking down though. Dude, tell us. All right, quick. Tell us about
Let's
the
go.
boxing update. We'll just start. Give the people what they want. The boxing update. What's going on? Your training. Just give us the
Yeah.
whole timeline and the breakdown.
All right, here's the timeline. So Mozzie challenged Sean Perry to a fight on my Twitter Spaces, okay? And Des Bryant was on that show. So what happened was they challenged each other. I said, "Is this really going down? Like I'm booking a flight to Vegas." So I booked a flight to Vegas to watch the fight. I asked Des Bryant if he was going to do it. He booked the flight. So I think when Des Bryant kind of like booked that flight out to Vegas, it like locked in the fight. There was just too much social pressure where neither one of them could back out. And yeah, that was kind of a legendary stream. Mozzie got his ass whooped by Sean Perry. And then they did a rematch fight. Didn't happen. And Sean Perry's challenging for 500K. And I don't think either one of these guys want to fight for 500K, if I'm being completely honest. They keep like dodging each other, this and that. And then so I started training because Sean Perry called me out. I've been hanging out with Amanda. For some reason, he thinks that he can just call me out and win Amanda. It is what it is, right? Like, like the internet world just doesn't make any sense. So he called me out and said he wanted to fight me for 100,000 and steal Amanda from me. I said, "Fuck it, I'll fight this guy." Like, no one likes Sean Perry. He's literally just the most unlikable guy on the Elf show. It's like not even close.
And I and
So
I think for listeners, just to
yeah,
interject, I was out there for this whole debacle,
yeah,
and just so people that are like, oh, it's fake, it's staged, all this shit. Before this even went down, dude, you were like, bro, fuck Sean Perry.
yeah.
I need to like get out of this, and I kind of know where this is going, but like this is all genuine. Like this is
Yeah,
not.
no, 100%. I mean, you said it yourself. We were in like a toxic relationship. I was like lying to Sean Perry about where I was during the day
Yeah,
so I could like hang out with certain people. Like I'm in Vegas, right? And there's so many Vegas people. Sean Perry would text me like, "Oh, come here, do this with me," and I'd be like with you and Man in the Library, right? And he won't hang with Man in the Library because Man in the Library wants to fight him. So I would like lie to Sean Perry and tell him something different. And Coop was literally like, "Damn, you have a toxic relationship
Oh
with
my
Sean
God.
Perry." And I'm like, "Yeah, now that you've said it out loud, like
I think
it
everybody does,
Dude,
honestly.
just
yeah,
the thought of Man of the Library fighting Sean Perry, just the thought of Man of the Library fighting anybody just cracks me up. It's really nothing against him. It's just he's just such a weird character. The idea of
yeah,
him wearing like a fedora just into the ring, it just
It'd be
crosses my
so
mind every
funny
time.
to
So
watch
funny.
him get beat up. Okay, but anyway, so
yeah.
you call or Sean calls you out with Amanda, and so that fight
I
scheduled for
snap accepted.
yep.
Yeah,
So that fight scheduled for May 10th.
May 10th. It was supposed to be May 4th, and Sean got a rib injury in training, and it
Wow.
was so. My trainers are professional boxers. They've said in their 22-year career, they've never once had a rib injury. Like you get hit in the ribs, and you get hit in the
Yeah, he
ribs.
just
You know what I
impacts.
mean?
Yeah.
Like you're
Mhm.
fine.
He
So
might be so weak though that it like bruised
yeah,
a rib or something.
exactly. So I started training. I've been posting videos. I'm sure you guys have seen them. Like I don't
Of
look
course.
great, but I'm training against like real fighters. It's like the idea is like you get in the ring, you learn a lot getting in the ring. Like, you know what I mean? Like you learn how to take punch. It's like swimming, right? If you're gonna go swimming, you're gonna get wet. If you're gonna go boxing, you're gonna get punched. So you learn how to take a punch, you learn how to give a punch. That's kind of how it works. So I'm training hard, and I'm gonna be yeah, it's gonna be $100,000 bet. Sean wants to up the bet, and I think like I might get backers that are down to up that bet, but I also want to get it up on like books and stuff like that. So if like people want to bet on me, allow the books to get some of the action. I don't want to like book all the action if that makes sense.
I will say I would love if we get the books involved again. I mean, I will say I am one of the few that was kind of, in the darkness during the push-ups bet.
Yeah,
All in, all in. Appreciate the free money from that. That was
let's go.
free money like I've never seen in my life.
It was free money.
I would love nothing more than for you and Sean Perry to go at it and for the books to allow us to bet on that. I don't even know what the fucking line would be in that fight, but I'm all in on you in that fight too.
I just think you have to be
I think I'm free money, to be honest. Like, I've been training with boxers, like they're getting my form right, cardio right. Like, cardio is everything. Like,
Sean's a Pillsbury doughboy.
Yeah, he's a Pillsbury. Like, if he doesn't knock me out in the first round, like, it's over. You know what I mean?
Like that's nothing against him either. You're like a young 22-year-old athletic kid. He's been just doing nothing for his whole life.
He does nothing. He has mom's credit card. He's chilling. He's set. He never had to work. He lies about his Supermax record every day. Like, he'll lose a bet. We'll all see him lose a bet, and then the next day he posts that he's 24-1. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane. So the guy, but he believes everything he says though. Like, he's actually that delusional. He's actually that, like, he's a sociopath. He's a narcissist.
But I think most of these guys are.
Most of them are. Even Man in the Library believes everything he says. Like, I was with him in Vegas. And he was asking me, like, what agency I work for. You know what I mean? Like, oh, is it CIA, FBI? Like, he really does believe this stuff. He's not kidding.
Dude, they're all kidding.
I was
ahead of this though. Like, I've been tooting this horn for a while. Huh? All these guys are just fucking liars.
Oh, I thought you were
dude, when we got back from Vegas, I said to these guys, I was like, that was insane. But if you look up Cooper Lycan on Google, everything that's on Google is stuff I've said. Like, there's nothing that you'll find that I've like lied about. That's not, dude. With this crew, you know nothing. You know nothing. Like, you don't know what's true. You don't know what's fake. You don't know what's a joke. You don't know what's not a joke. You don't know, like, if they have money, if they're broke. It's insane. Like, the worlds that they've created are fucking insane.
Yeah, and I mean, one of them, Mozzie. And I'm not even trying to bring up Mozzie right now, but bro, first of all, him showing a fake cryptocurrency wallet with $5 billion, like, he thinks that we're all just so stupid, doesn't figure. Bro, it's a quick Google. CoffeeZilla, right? Like, he literally, if you watch a CoffeeZilla video about Silk Road, you can see right there, he shows a Bitcoin wallet multiple times. But the
$5 billion in the wallet Mozzie tried to show and claim.
Exactly. And the fact that Mozzie backed out of that fight against you originally it should have gotten way more shit for that.
Happening.
They got a ton of shit, but not enough.
No, like, not enough. He did not nearly enough. Because I was in that stream that night listening to it, and I had to stay in because I was this close. I've not raised my hand one time in the space. I've been this close to doing it multiple times. That was the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life. Just with how him and JW are. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, well, like, oh, you're just not big enough for me. And Like, bro, you accepted the fight. It was the craziest thing that he backed out of it and then just didn't get any shit for it. Thought that was insane. Really looking forward, though, to you fight Sean, and excited to watch that.
This is actually a good segue. So how did this even start? I think like you and me got connected maybe like 10 shows in.
Yeah.
And then we did the contest idea and then whatever. But how did this even, I don't even know how you got into this.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm a sharp gambler. I haven't gambled since March 18th, since I've been in Vegas though. But, I do a lot of like live arbitrage stuff. Like, I stare at my screen all day pretty much. And I would just be bored, man. I would be so bored. And I would hop into Twitter spaces, and I would hop into one Twitter space, the Omar show, and I just got kicked out of it. Like, I was like, all right, I'll just start my own space then. And I had my friends in there. It was like me, Brett, we brought in like a bunch of other characters, and mine just grew, right? And it would be, the way it grew was, people would be talking shit to each other. I would DM that person, be like, yo, this guy's talking shit about you right now, like, pull up, whatever. And in like real time for the viewers, like we would be talking shit about someone and then be like, oh shit, here he is, bring him up. And then they would come in fired up because they're pissed hearing like slanderous allegations on their name and stuff like that. So it would just be full on war. And then the clips would just go crazy from that on the start. That's kind of how I, grew it initially. But I was just bored, just gambling. So That was it.
Dude, that was like,
That's interesting.
I feel like, are you going to get back to that after the boxing stuff's over? Like, get back to the scammers and like all the calling out? Because I feel like that was like peak Elf Show, was when like Measy came on. That show was crazy, bro. That was like peak entertainment, right? Because it was like the build up. He came on, he crashed the fuck out. He has a crazy story to begin with of like his rise and fall. But that was just like peak, almost like journalism. That you created this environment for him to tell his story, and you created, you know, these characters in the story that were able to come on and ask him questions. I listened to that whole thing live, and I was just like, this is insane.
It was insane. I mean, it was insane doing it, but like those Measy stories don't just like grow on trees. So I try to like stay on top of it. Like the prop swap story was a big one. Like I was on top of that one, you know what I mean? Like getting that one on. But like, yeah, that Measy show was nuts, right? Like, and it was big because he had just came back to Twitter to sell picks. So yeah, I mean, we could definitely get back to it. Like I try to get back to it, but you know, I don't know. I just kind of go where the audience goes, whatever I want to do.
Actually, to be fair, he just brought up a guy the other day. They were in the middle of talking boxing, and then Elf's like, all right, hold on, we're gonna bring this guy up who just hit like some fucking dart, you know, 10-leg parlay, whatever the fuck it was. That guy got pressed for a second. I'm talking about he got asked like, how
what's
much
the price of
picks? Literally, like the question was like, how much do you charge for your picks? And he's like, oh, fuck you guys. Like, I don't need to answer these questions. I'm gonna start my own space, and then dipped out. So, like, to be fair, like, he at least is still bringing some guy. Some of these guys are just so soft, bro. Cannot handle it. But also, besides being soft, like, don't know how to answer the tough questions because they don't do this for real. But this is a question that I had, Elf. Really curious question, because the space that you're in, right, it's kind of similar to like what I'm doing, right, to what Cooper's doing. What we're doing is different, right? Like, people like our parents are so confused about like what the hell's going on because I'm from a blue collar town. Like I'm not from a town that people are like doing shit on their phone. I'm from people where people are farming or working at factories, right? That's the two lanes you take. So what do your parents think of you basically quitting your real job to do this, and then B, what do your parents think about you boxing?
Oh my God. So quitting the job, they didn't really care that much because they kind of knew like things were going well. Like I had, you know, like I was making a lot more than my main job anyway. So it was just kind of like the whole time crunch. And I was working 9 to 5 and I was doing my show at night and gambling. And like both were kind of like, actually, I was doing fine, but it was just like way too much, like too much overload, right? Like you can't do both long term and just like be healthy. So I wasn't really sleeping a lot. Oops, my bad. I'll restart.
Hello.
All right, we'll cut. Yeah, so I wasn't really sleeping a lot. I wasn't really being healthy or anything like that. So the job kind of had to go, right? And that was a tough decision. You know what I mean? I had a nice, cozy actuarial job at a big insurance company. Like I worked my whole life to get that job, right? Like math major, I took an actuarial exams. And then things just kind of took off for me betting and also in the show where I could like get like big sponsorships and stuff like that. So it was kind of like a no-brainer. And two, the boxing stuff. Oh, my dad is not worried at all, right? Like he doesn't really care. But my mom, you know, she's a mom. So she's gonna be nervous. Like I made a joke. I'm like, if I was fighting an ant, you'd be nervous. You know what I mean? And she's like, yeah, that's true. But yeah, I mean, like realistically, with the 16-ounce headgear or 16-ounce gloves and headgear, like it's very, very hard to get knocked out. Like
for sure.
I'm eating haymakers from like boxers. You know, I'm like they hurt. You know, like my nose gets busted pretty much every.
How many times have you seen stars? How many times?
Never, not once. You know,
not once. Not once. Well, sometimes you get clocked hard enough though, you'll just start seeing them, and you're
the 16
takes a second to really realize it.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Well, I'm guessing, are you just training with 16 ounces, or are they using?
Yeah.
Oh,
we're gonna fight with 16 ounces, so it makes sense to train.
Well, I figured they were using like lighter ones to kind of like. Again, I'm not a boxer, but it'd be like you're you know, when you go up to before you go swing a baseball bat, you use 2 baseball bats to practice swing, so that way the regular baseball bat feels lighter. So I figured maybe they were using like lighter gloves to like get you even more ready.
Either way, workout is like holding up the 16-ounce. Like people don't realize how hard it is holding up 16-ounce.
I believe it.
Man, you gotta protect yourself. You know what I mean? So it's
tough. Your parents gonna come to the fight?
Probably not. No, I think my family's gonna come though. Like my brother's like fuck yeah, I'm gonna be in Vegas for that. Like maybe my little sister will pull up too. Like, you know, they want to see the fight. So it'll be a
This is
good
May
fight.
10th. Maybe we pull up.
Yeah, May 10th, dude. I mean, I got an Airbnb. It can house 18 people. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So, like, we were planning on doing. So I'm gonna do a 24-hour show from Thursday into Friday because I'm not fighting on Friday anymore. But the guy training me is fighting the guy training Mozzie. So they're giving him like 2-1 odds. Like I'm just gonna stream it, right? So I was gonna do like a 24-hour show from Thursday into Friday into the fight. So that'll be
Wow.
like a big thing. And depending how that goes, I might. So listen to this: the longest ever Twitter Spaces is 5 days and like 16 hours or something like that.
Break the record.
I might break the record going into the Perry fight. Full week L Spaces. And then
Wow,
at
that's
that point,
different.
you know, you might even get Elon Musk to like retweet you or something like that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
Like
different. Yeah, that's
you
like
break the record, you know? And also I want to show
100%.
some love to like the training, you know, like people don't see the actual training stuff. The stuff we post on Twitter is like what we know is gonna get engagement. Like we'll post me getting my ass beat, you know, Brett getting
Yeah.
his ass beat, like chip tooth, all that good stuff. So yeah, but that stuff's entertaining to
Wild.
see. Like for example, people like when you know, if you hear on the show, like, oh, Elf's about to spar in like 10 minutes, you know what I mean? Like, I'm about to hop in the ring with Cleon and, you know, I'm going to get my ass beat. People want to see that, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
That's the
like,
dude that shares shorts with JW, right?
no, that's Kino. That's the guy fighting on Friday. Yes. So that's the
Oh,
guy. Yeah, that's
gotcha.
the guy fighting on Friday. But
He was
Cleon,
allegedly an Olympic athlete. Is that what he said?
yeah, he said he was an Olympic athlete, you know, even though there was no
Huh.
record of it. And also, yeah, he shared shorts with JW. And they
Yeah,
were
that was crazy. That
beefing.
was the craziest thing of that whole episode.
Yeah.
When someone called him out and then they put the picture of JW wearing those shorts earlier that day. I mean, bro, I was
Well,
dying.
the craziest part was Cleon like making up a different story, and then JW
Oh,
just
Kino,
coming out
yeah.
from the background
Yes,
saying,
yes.
No, they're mine."
Those are my shorts.
How did you meet JW? Where did
Okay,
he
so
come from?
JW was at the rematch fight, Mozzie versus Perry, right? And this guy just rolls up. He's massive. He looks like a real life Titan, right? He's ripped, vascularity running all through his body. Like he's so easy to tell he's on steroids. Like you could tell in a second. You'd be like, yeah, this guy's on steroids. You know what I mean? Like it was just the vascularity was just a dead giveaway with like no working out. And he's friends with he lives in the same building with someone named Charlie Cavalier, who was like Sean Perry's old like media marketing manager. And I had gotten in touch with him to get Sean Perry on the show initially when he was like doing all that stuff with like Mickey Mace, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I met Charlie. And then JW rolled up to the gym and I realized JW was close with Charlie. And then I spoke with Charlie about him. And then that's kind of when I got like the green light. Okay, JW is like this. Turns out he's like a famous music producer, like did the melody for EXO Tour Life, and now he's like set for life. And the
Dude,
woo and all. Like, how is it possible that JW on the Elf shows
just
did the melody
absolutely
for
insane.
EXO Tour Life?
Bro, I would love to see the
It's
Do you
not
like
viral
real.
hang?
video
Do you like
clip.
hang out with him, or are you just like,
No.
yo, come over, come on the show?
I
Yeah,
don't
so
think he
I'll
could
share.
hang out.
I mean, all right. So he was obviously cracked out at the fight. I had worked out. He invited me to work out with him. Right?
Cracked out?
Yeah, like he was just cracked out. Like he was yelling at people, not like actually cracked out,
Yeah,
but
no,
like
okay.
it's an expression. Like he was fired up, yelling at people, like being like crazy. You know what I mean? Calling people out. And then I worked out with him, and he was like relatively tame. You know what I mean? Like he was like a normal dude. We got a workout in, and then I invited him onto the show. And you guys saw the episode. It was insanity. He was
Insane.
yelling at the phone. He was like, "Get this bitch off the spaces! Like, kick her
Oh,
out!" Like talking shit to everyone. Anyone who said anything negative about him, like, get him off the show. Like, kick him out. It was nuts. You know, it was. It was.
no, that
And the memes from it were unbelievable too. So
hilarious. Now the
yeah,
meme of him in library is it's an all-time meme. It's an
yeah, all
all-time
time.
meme.
Yeah, and library was there too. Like you know, like
That's what I mean. So that's
yeah,
almost like this is maybe a good transition.
yeah.
No, that night it was you, it was JW, it was library. Now there's some accusations flying right now around X.
Okay.
Now might be a good time, maybe just for the people out there that are still asking questions
Yeah.
about maybe the relationship between you and Mr. Library. The floor is yours,
Yeah.
Elf.
All right.
Mr.
So, I mean, there
Library.
was an accusation made against the library. by King Cap that there's photos of him with like panties on bending over. So already accusations are flying against the library that he's homosexual, right? So on Saturday, there's a hotel in Vegas called the D, right? It's literally
Yeah.
called the D.
Yep.
And I invited him to the D to hang out on Saturday night with me, Amanda, Tommy G, my parody account, right? Nothing was going on. And he said he had to do a Twitter Spaces. So I said, okay, we're chilling in the living room and it's a suite, right? I was like, if you want, you can go into the bedroom where it's quiet, do the show, and then after, like, come out with us. So he tweeted that it's like, oh, Elf is inviting me to the D to go to the bedroom to do a show. Right? He just flips it. He just flips it.
Yeah.
And then all these accusations start flying about me on Twitter. I saw somebody make a tweet saying, oh, I saw Elf on Grinder, and they posted a photo of me. That was my LinkedIn photo from like 5 years ago. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, this guy found my LinkedIn photo and he's saying it was my Grinder profile picture. Like, what? And that tweet has like 30,000 views. Like, this stuff
Oh
is
yeah.
like, it's like
Nuclear.
semi.
So funny,
And these
bro.
are like troll accounts tweeting it with like 300 followers. Like, they don't have like, they're just troll accounts. Like, that's all they do is just tweet shit like
I
this.
actually woke up, I think it was yesterday. I woke up
Yeah.
and when I got on Twitter, I'm not even kidding, the first 3 tweets I saw. The first one was library saying, like, I don't kiss and tell. And I was like, what the hell is that? And then the next one was about Elf being on Grinder. And I go, what the fuck is that? And the third tweet was literally the video recording of library. So I listened to it and he's just literally talking about like, yeah, then like me and Elf, like, you
Yeah.
know, we kind and it literally was just talking about how him and Elf basically fucked. And I was just
Yeah.
listening. I'm like, bro, library is literally talking about him and Elf fucking. I think I literally went right to Bryce, like, bro, what the fuck is going on here? It
Yeah.
had to be just an all-time moment. I mean, I
No, it
was like
nuts.
97% sure that it was just a library trolling, but
Yeah. I
very
think Library
fucking
was
fun.
trolling. It was a rare instance of him like trolling for fun.
Very random troll.
Just absurd.
Because then another transition to something where I don't think he is trolling, and you actually already brought it up, and I was going to bring it
Yeah.
up. Me and Bryce were talking about this before the show. I was listening to Library Space whenever that was, maybe like it was probably like 2 months ago, and I mean a month and a half ago or something, where literally I stayed in the space because I stay up all night like capping the slate. Like unlike a lot of these
Right.
absolute frauds, I actually spend hours and hours on the shit, right?
Yeah.
So when I was up that night, I was like, you know what, let me just turn on this space while I'm kind of just capping the games. He then starts to literally go in about how, like Elf, 3 letters, like clearly I'm clearly reading it perfectly. He works for either the FBI, the CIA, like some kind of 3-letter organization. And then I
Yeah.
just listened to him and these other goons. I don't even know what else to call them. Just talk
Yeah.
about how you are definitely a federal agent, how Spanky is a federal agent, and how
Yeah.
each person has their own signal. And how and by the way, that night, I still remember, he said that the signal was that the Blackhawks were either going to win or cover the +1.5. He kept hammering that. He kept hammering it.
Yeah.
Guess what? Blackhawks lost outright by 2 goals.
Yeah, they
Didn't
lost
cover.
4-2. I remember that.
Oh, the whole signal calling was wrong. So I also just kind of want like your opinion on the thought of, hey, Elf might be a federal agent.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a federal agent. I went to school for math. I was hired by an insurance company. I worked a normal job. No federal agency hit me up. And yeah, no, he really believes this stuff though. He thinks I was sent in. I kind of like blew up on Twitter pretty fast with these shows. It's a lot of people thought there was like some backing behind me, like machine behind me. No, it was just me running shit, just doing my thing, whatever. But
I mean, I feel like
really
at
believes
this
this
point
stuff.
he's like grasping for straws though, because his
Yeah.
power has gone like this on the show. Like for
He
some
goes like this.
reason, like he just maintained some image.
Literally.
He somehow like maintained some image, and then at some point everybody was like, "Wait, you're a scammer too?"
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? Like, wait, you owe people money. You're a liar. You're a scammer, and it all started to go
It's
out.
crazy.
The only difference is, you know what the only difference is guys like Mozzie and Sean Perry actually aren't funny or you even want to listen to him. Man of the Library, at least, is kind of funny and
He's funny sometimes.
entertaining
Yeah,
character.
yeah.
He is
Yeah.
literally a character. The very first time I ever heard of Man of the Library was because of my brother, because of the whole Alan Kessler situation.
That was
right?
funny. Yeah.
And listening to Library just constantly be like, Nope, that was wrong. Nope, that was a lie. And then explain exactly how I'm telling you, I was dying.
That was actually funny.
Listening to that shit.
Wait. So this actually is a nice segue into the top 5 rankings. We did it with
Okay, let's
BJ.
do
We
it.
have to do it with you.
What is your top 5 Elf Show characters?
All right, I would say the Beak. Somehow this guy, whenever I say, whenever like something happens, I'll be like, the Beak, let me hear your thoughts on this. Like whatever one-liner he's about to drop, you just know will be gold. And I will cite my favorite one was when King Cap was talking about how he lived in an apartment and there was black mold in there. And now he's rich selling picks. And the Beak's like, hey, you went from mold to gold. That was just hilarious. So I'm
Dude,
putting
or
Beak-
when we were at the fight, another classic one was when Tommy G brought those girls
Yeah.
and you just panned over and the Beak just goes, oh, is that man in the library? Dude, I was crying laughing.
Yeah.
He brought like this kind of Asian girl.
So all right, so it's the Beak, and then what are the other 4?
The Beak, I'm gonna throw Library in my top 5 because Library's although there's allegations about his scamming and stuff like that. I'm not gonna
Allegations.
but allegations. He is a master at deflecting. Like he could teach a class on deflecting. Every week there seems to be a new video of him from like years and years ago just doing something sketchy. Like last night, there's a video of him in an arcade getting pressed as
I saw
he's
that.
leaving the arcade. It was unbelievable. Like I don't know how these video and he's in a fedora. Like
know,
it just
literally.
doesn't even make sense.
That's why I'm dying. Thinking about him going to a boxing ring wearing a
He's
fedora.
just been living in a video in a TV
Yeah.
show for
So
the past
good.
10 years of his life.
All right, those are the
Yeah.
2. Those are 2.
All right. I always enjoy when Narco's on the panel.
Mhm.
Narco's kind of like the steady hand. Like every time he speaks, it's usually a solid take. Like it's also fun having a police officer on the panel. He's like if someone makes an accusation and he's like, well, it is kind of illegal to do this, or yeah, that is kind of, you can't. This is the process of like
Just the
getting
resident
arrested.
legal expert.
Yeah, he's kind of because cops are kind of like legal experts. You know what I mean?
Do you even know? Do you even know if he's a cop or not, or is he?
No,
just a
he
liar
was definitely a
too?
cop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Library brought up that he had he was listed in a court case or something. Like
Oh,
he was
library
sued.
said he's a cop, so he's good. Yeah.
Yeah, but we had a whole episode on this where like Narco was defending himself. Library was saying he punched a handcuffed man and beat the fuck out of him and got sued by the city, which wasn't true. It was like a whole stressed out thing. But the city was sued and Narco was on the lawsuit. But like those sort of like lawsuits against the city like happen all the time. I'm not the
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch that. It was a good episode. Like, Man in Library was saying he's a dirty cop because Man in Library got caught like manipulating his record or something like that in the UFC. So,
That's funny.
so,
All right, those are 3.
All right,
So
now
4.
I'll go with 3. I'll say Nadeau is also a good number 4. He's been less consistent on the show, but like whenever he pops in, he's always got a crazy story. You know what I mean? Like Nadeau's a great meme. Like any passport photos of him you tweet out, it's gonna get impressions likes.
Yeah.
Like people
Literally.
like Nadeau.
Literally.
He kind of carried early in the show. He was like kind of like the co-host, but now he's kind of going his own route. But I always enjoy having Nadeau on the show.
I think he's also just very authentic, dude. Like it's just like who he is.
He is. He is. And when he first called me out about like the whole Amanda Vance date thing, like he was being dead serious. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
he was pissed at me for buying her tickets to that hockey game, and I didn't even buy the tickets, but it was a whole thing because of the push-ups. And then 5, I mean, there's just so many characters, like, and they're changing every week, right? Like JW's a new character. You know what I mean? Like next month, there's gonna be a new character on the Elf Show. You know what I mean? It's just gonna happen. That's just how it works. But if I had to go with 5 right now in terms of just like entertainment, like causing drama, like right now, I would probably say JW just because he's so relevant. He always comes in and like he's kind of like a meme, but like some people respect him, and he's always like causing fights and stuff like that. Like people troll him all the time too. Like we had a kid come in and like demand an apology from JW.
I saw that.
Like,
Yeah, I saw that. The doctor parlay, whoever the fuck that is.
Yeah,
Does King Cap still make appearances?
No, I mean he stopped making appearances after he said
He
something
is
like illegal.
so funny, bro.
He's
I just
amazing.
love him.
I want to get him back on the show for sure.
He's
But,
amazing. He's an
Yeah,
amazing little
He's just a
character.
goofy ass dude, bro.
I think
He's
that's
great
that's
at
my
talking
honorable
shit, though.
mention.
All right, Elf,
Yeah.
I got one more question for you before
All
we
right, let's do it.
let you go. And again, appreciate you sliding on here, bro.
Absolutely.
Love everything you're doing. It's
For sure.
very funny to keep up with it all. Now, this is maybe the most important question of the whole show.
Let's do it.
Okay. Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Man of the library, JW, the Beak. Go ahead.
Oh my God. All right, we gotta kill JW because that would be like a challenge. You know what I mean? Like if I kill JW, I'm like a gladiator.
You beat the final boss.
This puts you in a really awkward situation.
I can't marry him and I can't have sex with JW because JW, if I marry him, would be like scary. I don't want to have sex with JW. Like he's the one saying he'll break your hip and feed you to the boys.
He dominate you.
You know, so all right,
You're not fucking him. Put it that way.
we have to kill JW. You know what I mean?
No choice.
We have no choice, and that leaves me between fuck and marry, between the Beak and man of the library. Like, you know, who you're gonna marry is the most important decision of your life, right? And I can't marry library. You know, Beak is an
Absolutely
all-time
not.
character, so I have to marry Beak,
Yeah.
which leaves me with fucking library. Unfortunately, like you know, that's just how it has to be.
Full circle moment here.
But he does have history as a bottom, so you know at least you got that going for you. It's not like JW where you're not winning that battle.
I mean, I can't marry or fuck JW. I have to marry the Beak. So like Beak was auto marry, and that just kind of leaves library with the fuck.
And also, you don't know what the Beak looks like. Like he could be a smoke show.
It's funny
Yeah,
actually.
he
Beak
can
offered.
take.
Yeah, he offered to dox himself. And he's like, Elf, like I just followed you on Instagram. I want to show you what I look like. And you know what I told him? I told him, Beak, with all due respect, like I don't even want to know. Yeah.
Beak, resident sobet guy. Love him.
Yeah. He
Good
posts
guy.
on sobet every day, actually.
No,
Great
he's
guy.
great. Yeah, I'm happy that he's supporting the app for sure. It's
No, we
awesome.
love the
Yeah.
Beak.
Yeah.
That's guy. But all right. Well, that's everything that I got.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for coming on. I mean, this is great.
Yeah, absolutely. It was super fun. You know, we'll do it again. We'll do it again for sure.
Yeah. If we don't get out to Vegas for the fight, good luck. Beat the fuck out of Sean Perry.
He's drawing dead. He's actually drawing dead.
Drawing dead. That's
He
so
is.
good.
Yeah.
You got anything specific you want to shout out though before we get up out of here?
No,
Besides
I
the
mean,
show,
I'll
obviously?
shout out my Twitter if that's cool. You know, Elf on Twitter. You know, I post every day my stuff. And anything I do in my life, I just post on Twitter. That's pretty much
Oh
it.
yeah.
I do a show. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, brother.
Well, appreciate you, bro.
All right.
We'll
Appreciate you,
get
brother.
back to training. All right.
I will.
See ya.
All right. Peace.